Hey everyone, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to show you what is in my travel makeup bag. This bag I got, it's a Vera Bradley bag that they sell here in the Disney parks and at the resorts and stuff. And I bought it the last time we were here in Disney in October. We go like twice a year. It's awesome. Anyway, but they have a bunch of different colors and patterns, and all of them have Mickey and Minnie in it in some way, or at least Mickey. This one has like tiny Mickeys here and a big one here. They're just all over the place. Some of them have like straight up full on Mickey and Minnie in them, which are really cute too. So I'm thinking about getting a crossbody here of that, but I don't really need it. So I don't know, we'll see. I don't really need any of this stuff. Anyway, so I'm gonna show you what I brought. I have bought a lot of makeup while I was in France on my honeymoon, but I'm not including it in this because I've done those hauls and that's not really what I packed to bring, and I wanted to show you guys that. So let's go ahead and get into it. If you're gonna ask what's on my lips, I brought two lipsticks, well no, three lipsticks with me, but two of them are MAC ones. And one of them, if I can find it in here, is called Fire It Up. And it's one of their retro matte ones that are really, really drying, and it's a really pretty red, and it's almost this exact same shade, but it's really, really drying. So when I was here, I picked up, and this is the only thing I'm gonna show you that I actually hauled here, this Marc Jacobs one in Oh Miley, and it's the same thing, same shade, but it's way more long lasting and creamy and super matte still. I'll show you a swatch of it, even though you can see it on my lips, because it's so, so, so beautiful. It was so expensive, and it was, I mean, I've done a lot of splurging on my honeymoon because it's my honeymoon, but this was one of my favorite splurges I made because this is unbelievable. So, that being said, the other MAC lipstick that I brought was Please Me, which is like a really nice pink color, and I love it because it is matte, but it's their new formula of matte that are a lot creamier. So I would say if you're looking at MAC, I got that retro matte one from like a CCO, so I don't even know if they still sell them like on the MAC website or anything, but definitely get their regular matte line, the new one, because they're beautiful, and I love this pink. So when I was thinking about packing lipsticks for this trip, I was like, okay, I know I want a red, then I know I want a pink, and then I know I want a peach. So the peach one that I brought is a Wet n Wild one that I just recently fell in love with called 903C Just Peachy. And I've mentioned this, I think I mentioned this in my favorite, but it's such a beautiful peach color. It's again matte, a little bit drying, but usually I'll wear this with the lip gloss that I'll show you in a second, and it works really, really well. I love it. And honestly, they have really good red lipsticks as well in the Wet n Wild line, so I would say look there. If you're just wanting a red lip, but you know you're not gonna wear it often, that would be a good option so you're not spending a lot of money. It is still drying, but it's still really, really matte and really, really red, which is nice. Okay, moving forward, the rest of this is going to be kind of out of order because it's, you know, in a makeup bag. But I'll give you guys a little peek inside, if I don't drop it all. So, the only foundation I brought was the Makeup Forever HD foundation. I'm wearing the shade in 117. This is too light for me now that I've gotten a lot of color. Like, way too light. But I love that it is a yellow tint, so during normal times of year when I don't have some sun, it's perfect for me. And it's, like I said, it's got that yellow tint, so it actually matches the rest of my skin. But I've had to bronze up a little bit, and my face is still a little bit lighter, but it's what I brought, so that's what I'm stuck with right now. But I really do like it. It's not the most moisturizing foundation. So like right now, I've got a lot of breakouts from putting on sunscreen on my face because I didn't bring a foundation with sunscreen. I don't know what I was thinking. I've learned a lot of lessons this trip. Anyway, so I've broken out a lot, and this does not look great over breakouts, in my opinion, on my skin. So that's one huge downside. I wish I would have brought, I don't know, maybe my Revlon Color Stay Whipped, although it's in a giant glass jar. I love that stuff so much. I don't know. Actually, you know what? The Rimmel, what's the one I love? Wish I would have brought that one because it's amazing. Okay. I also brought, and this was mentioned in my June favorites, my Hard Candy Highlighter in Tiki. And this is like $8 at Walmart. I don't know the exact price. But anyway, it's this gorgeous, like kind of goldeny highlight, but I love it. And it works on, there's a mirror over here, it works on lighter skin tones, which is so rare in my opinion for a kind of shimmery gold highlight. All right, so right before I had left, I got a shipment from Tarte. Their PR department sent me a bunch, like all of their blushes, I'm losing my mind, all of their blushes and a few other things. So I brought a couple of them with me, and this one is one of their blushes in Flush, and it's this gorgeous kind of blue toned pink. It's almost purplish pink, which is one of my favorite shades of blush. These don't swatch great but they're absolutely gorgeous on the, yeah, you can't really see it there, but they're so pretty on the skin. I'm wearing them on my cheeks today. I love them. They last a pretty long time. Some people have said, oh yeah, you can get 12 hours out of it. I'm like, I wouldn't say 12 hours, but I've never met a blush that lasts that long. If you've got any that you know last that long, let me know below. But I also brought their Park Ave Princess Bronzer, and it's their matte one that's waterproof, and it's perfect if you have fair skin. Again, I'm now too dark for it, but regular times of the year, this is incredible. And it really does stay put, and it's just so, it doesn't look unnatural. It's so hard to find bronzers and contour shadows like, or contour powders like that. It's just amazing. Okay, I'm like piling this up on my lap. Let me put this down. I also brought my Lorac Pro palette. Now this is the only big palette I brought. I brought way too many shadows, that I know. But this one's amazing because it does have the matte and the shimmer, so I knew I would have a lot of options. And I like that it had a mirror, and I actually, a few days I had no way to get ready other than this, so I'd prop it up on like a cup and then have something, my makeup bag behind it, so it'd be open so I could do my makeup. So it was kind of nice to have that as an option. But it really is nice if you own it. It's a great travel palette. I know a lot of people say that. It's for good reason. It really does have everything you could really possibly need. Now, I went a step further and brought way more. I also brought, since it was my honeymoon, I had splurged a while back ago on the Marc Jacobs Lolita palette, which I love, and honestly, I'm wearing it today. I've worn it most days here. It's actually kind of crazy how little I've worn my Lorac Pro palette compared to this, because it just stays put all day. Now most shadows do, but like maybe on the lid if you had a shimmery color, it would kind of wear off. This stuff doesn't move. It's crazy. I love it. And it blends together like nothing I've ever used. And I love Urban Decay shadows, but nothing's quite matched up to this. It really does blow my mind. So I love it so much. If you're curious, I'm wearing this color on the lid today. This color in the crease, kind of a matte. That's also in my crease. And then I have this darker black, usually at nighttime when we come back to kind of refresh in the middle of the day. Before we go out for the night, I'll take this black and put it, smoke out my like outer corner and my lower lash line. And then I'll use this like creamy matte white to just kind of put on my brow bone, on top of my lid as well, and just kind of blend it all together. It's amazing. The other shadows I brought, I had taken out of my bigger MAC palette and just put in a quad. I didn't realize how cheap the quads are for MAC. Like you can buy an empty quad, that's what I mean, empty quad or an empty little duo one. They're really inexpensive. Like I don't remember how much I spent on these, but they're like under $10, maybe $5. Like it's way cheaper than you think. So you could get a nice MAC palette if it just makes you feel good. I mean, that's how I am. I'm like, ooh, it's a MAC palette. But then you can fill it with e.l.f. shadows because they're amazing as well. So I just thought that was kind of cool to know that they're really not that expensive. But I brought Omega. This is, oh, a subscriber sent this to me, and what is the name of the shadow? It's Shimma Shimma from Makeup Geek. It's amazing. This is another MAC shadow, I can't remember the name, and then this is Rice Paper, I love. I don't wear this one as much. I brought it just in case, and that's why I don't know the name, because it doesn't really, it's not a favorite of mine. Okay. I brought this MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural. You guys, I think it's either the sunscreen I'm using or this that's breaking me out. And if I look oily like on my nose, it's because I am, because I use the foundation and I don't want to put, this is the only powder I have, and I don't want to put it on top of it because I'm breaking out, and I think it might be this. Because the only places I'm breaking out, which is right here and here, is where I've put this. Whereas I put sunscreen everywhere. So, I don't know. So I haven't been using this, which I feel like an oil slick, but that's okay because I think this is it. But I have it in medium. It's nice. It doesn't keep you matte for that long, and it might be breaking me out, so I just don't even know. I brought my favorite chapstick, the C.O. Bigelow My Favorite Night Balm. I talk about it all the time because it's amazing. I brought Opcon A allergy eye drops because my allergies have bothered me everywhere we've went. In France, they were driving me crazy. It was so bizarre. I also brought this NARS concealer in vanilla. I'm pretty sure it's out. Like, I'm running out of all my favorite makeups because, just, because I'm using them a lot. It's nice. I don't think it's worth the splurge, you guys. I've never noticed that huge of a difference between this and the one I did a dupe for. Anyone know what it is? It's the NYX HD one. they're the same. Like I don't know if I'm gonna repurchase this because it's nice, but it's nothing better than a lot of the drugstore ones I've tried. So it's my opinion. I also brought this Cella Ivory Lace Highlighter I bought on HauteLook for like $5. Originally a lot more. It's just a like brow bone highlight color, you know? And it really is nice and it blends well if you just draw it up there. And then I haven't really used it much this trip though, because I can just use a shadow. So I think when I pack next time, I definitely need to pack less, I know that. And I'm so mad at myself because I'm usually a good packer, but I knew we'd be checking bags because there was free checked bags on all the flights we had. So I was like, well, if I'm checking a bag, I brought way too much. But usually we don't, and so I'm a really light packer. The other concealer I brought was the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. I wore this on my wedding, and yes, the video is still coming. I'm gonna wait till I get home. It's really nice. I'm wearing it today. It stays in place. It covers really well. But it kind of makes your fingers messy. That's the only thing. So like you get it and you kind of do this and then pat it where you want, and then I use a brush or a beauty blender to kind of blend it in. And it just is messy, but other than that, it really is amazing. And I would say it's a little bit thicker than the Glamouflage one that I like a lot too. This one's just a little bit thicker in my opinion. Okay, so Tyler's back there getting ready if you see a light on. I also brought, to go with my concealer, my Everyday Minerals powder, like to kind of set it. And it's in their shade Multitasking. I buy this on Vitacost for a little bit cheaper than it is. It's still kind of pricey for what it is, but it's amazing. I like it better than my Bare Minerals. It's just brighter and it stays put longer. And I've even used this in other spots on my face as well. Once I realized I think the MAC one was breaking me out, I was using this here and it still works. I don't think it stays put all day. So if you're like wanting to leave and not have to touch up and you wanted it to be as flawless as it is when you first put it on, it's not going to be, but I really, really, really like it. A product I've hit pan on, and I taught Tyler what hit pan means because he heard me guffaw in the bathroom the other day while I was getting ready. And he was like, what? And I was like, I hit pan on my favorite contour or my favorite bronzer. And he was like, what does that mean? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I'm like, a bad thing. Well, it's a good thing, but a bad thing. Because it shows that you're using it, but it's bad because this is really expensive. This is the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting Powder in medium, and it's just that perfect gray tone. It stays put, it blends beautifully. I mean, there's a reason that makeup artists love this and that regos like me love it. I mean, it's amazing for like all skin tones unless you're a lot darker, in which case you would need, naturally you would need something darker. But it really is incredible, and when I run out, this is one I already know I'm going to repurchase. It's worth the money every time. I brought two mascaras. Now one that I brought is the IT Cosmetics Tightline mascara that you guys know I love, that has that tiny, 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 tiny wand just to kind of literally do your tight line, and it's really good for lower lashes, but I'm pretty sure it's completely out now. And then I brought my Voluminous Waterproof. Turns out the waterproof formula is totally different than the regular. You guys, I hate this. Like, I've been trying to make this work for weeks and weeks and weeks. I hate it so much, but I knew I wanted waterproof since it's hot, and I knew I wouldn't be able to touch up too much. I don't like, it doesn't hold the curl the way the regular one does, which you'd think waterproof would hold it better, but in my opinion, it doesn't. I just don't like it. It makes me so sad, so I can't wait to get home and get my regular one, and I wish I would have brought it. Okay, so for my brows, I brought my Anastasia Brow Pencil in medium brown. I just love it. It's easy and it's quick, and it matches, in my opinion, the way that I like my brows to look. I love it. This is like the 5th one I've bought, and it's always worth it. To go with that, I brought the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel just because I had one. It does work really well, but the NYX one's pretty good too. For liner, I've been doing like a triple decker when it comes to my eyes, which is what I typically do anyway. I've been using this Stila Smudge Stick waterproof liner. I have a bunch of these that I've gotten like as free gifts when you do orders online, you know, like on Ulta or wherever. And this one I got with something, and it's in the shade Damsel, which is actually a dark brown, but it works perfectly for just kind of tight lining and getting your waterline, and it stays put. And then on top of that, I'll use my L'Oreal Lacquer Liner, which is like a gel or cream liner, to get it really thick and nice, and so it really stays put. This stuff does not move. And then just to top it all off and to clean up the wing, I'll use the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Liner, and it's just in Intense Black, and it's just, you know, a pen format. It is fantastic. I wore it on my wedding day. It is amazing. I love it so much. Speaking of cleaning up the wing, I also brought my e.l.f. makeup remover pen. You guys know I bought like 1,000 of these. $3. You can get them at Target, wherever sells e.l.f., also online. Just to clean up your wing, it is incredible. And also, like, you know, if you've got really long lashes or whatever and you get the little dots up here, this, you know, you can almost dot it away and then blend with a brush and it's good as new. Okay. I also brought this one paint pot. It's the only cream shadow I brought. I ended up buying one if you've seen the video, but this one I brought with me. It's MAC Vintage Selection. The one I had bought in Paris was the Benefit Creaseless Cream Shadow in RSVP, which is very, very similar to this. This one's kind of like this golden champagne with a little bit, maybe more like a rose gold, but it's more champagne-y than rose gold. And I love that about it. I think it is so beautiful. I just love those colors. And this looks great on its own when you don't want to do any other eyeshadow. You can just wear this and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I also brought my Too Faced Shadow Insurance. This is awesome. I realized though, again, in the interest of saving space, I had like a sample one, but I was throwing you gotta understand, when I was packing my makeup, it was literally the day after our wedding and we were flying out, but we had to go to a breakfast first with family. So like literally I was just getting ready that morning and putting stuff in. But in retrospect, I should have grabbed the smaller version of this just to save a little tiny bit of space. It's fantastic. There are a ton of good eye primers though, so I don't think you have to get this expensive one. e.l.f. has great ones, but I do love this. I brought, in the interest of skincare, and it's all worn down, their e.l.f. Zit Eraser, which actually, it's got a higher concentration of salicylic acid versus their like rollerball version, which I used to love. I mean, I still like. This one's just a higher percentage. So when you're using it, you twist it up and it gets the solution into the little brush, and then you can brush it on wherever you're breaking out. I'm breaking out a ton, but it does really help kind of kill them before they become worse. So I love this stuff. It has been a lifesaver this trip. All right, the rest of the stuff I have is lip stuff. Now I brought more than one. I wonder where the other one is. Well, then I brought 3. See, I shouldn't have brought both of these. This is MAC's Soar, which is really big right now. It's kind of a dusty, but a little bit darker, purpley mauve. And it's good, but I should have maybe not brought this and brought this. This one's my favorite. It's the Rimmel Exaggerate lip liner in East End Snob, and it's this gorgeous pinky. I love it so much, and it's so creamy, but it works. So I should have just brought that, and the other one I brought, I'm assuming it's lost in my bag, is actually one I should have used today. It's more red toned, and it's MAC's lip liner in Beet, B-E-E-T, like the food, the vegetable. And it's great for red lips, especially if it's more like this, where it's a little more cool tone and not necessarily like orangey red. Beet is perfect. However, I will say about the MAC lip liners, they are a little bit drying. So I would rather have the Rimmel one, and I might look when I get home at the Rimmel line and see if there's a really nice cool tone red one. And if you know, let me know, because I love that formula, and I like that formula better than the MAC formula. So I brought one more lipstick I completely forgot. This is the Urban Decay lipstick, the Revolution lipstick in Native. And when I think about, like, see, I shouldn't have brought this because it's so similar to Please Me there. But this is Native, and I love it. And this is very, 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 very creamy. It's so lovely. One of the best formulas. This is just like the Marc Jacobs formula. I love them. But I shouldn't have brought both pinks. That's, again, what I'm learning. And then, oh, that's a hair tie. I also brought my Rimmel Stay Glossy Lip Gloss. These are becoming my favorite lip glosses. I brought 2 of these, but again, the other one must be lost in my bag. But this one's in Blushing Belgraves that I love, and it's kind of I described it the first time I showed it in a video as like a gray pink, because that's what it kind of looks like to me. Kind of a mauvey gray pink. I love it so much. It is so beautiful on its own. It's so beautiful just over lip liner. It's beautiful over lipstick. Like anything you can imagine, this is gorgeous. The other one I brought is a more peachy shade. Let me see if I can find it. Found it. This one's in Nonstop Glamour, and this is the one I wear over top of that Wet n Wild peach one. And it's just this gorgeous peach, but they're all shimmery and they're beautiful and they wear away nicely and they just feel good on your lips. If you were to get 2 of them from their line, I recommend these 2, Nonstop Glamour and Blushing Belgraves. These are under $5 from what I remember, and they are incredible. I love them so much. So now that I've swatched my hand away, that is everything that I brought with me, unless it's lost in my bag. I don't know about it. But if you have any questions about what I brought or any suggestions for what I should bring for my next trip, please let me know down below. And also, if you're interested in the makeup that I did buy while I was in Paris and elsewhere, definitely check out my past videos on those. I can link them below. I did a European drugstore makeup haul, and then I also did like a Sephora high-end haul in Paris. So I'll definitely link those below, as well as my June favorites, and I will catch you guys in my next one.